My Tesla delivery date was finally here. The anticipation, the excitement, and the sense of accomplishment. I've had this car for over a year now, so I guess you can say I was just too heartbroken to talk about this until now. I picked up my brand new Model 3 on a Thursday evening. Friday morning, I woke up to the Sentry mode video you see here of this lovely gentleman backing up right into my brand new Model 3. I want to share the story of what happened and what I went through because although it looks like a pretty open and shut case, it was very far from it. But number one, I want to say thank goodness for Sentry mode. I mean, it's one of the reasons I wanted to get the car in the first place. I knew it would save me one day, I just didn't think it would literally be on day one, but here we are. But anyways, here's the story. I was parked legally on the side of the road in a gated community at my girlfriend's place at the time. This is a street that I used to park my Kia Forte on for months prior with no issues. My girlfriend's mother was parked in the garage. She actually offered to move her car so I could park there for the night, but at the time I said it's just one night, it'll be fine, and boy do I think about that decision now. But anyways, I get up the next morning for work and I had a notification on my phone that my alarm was going off, and I just got the car. I thought maybe the Sentry mode was too sensitive or I did something wrong on the app or whatever, but this was actually happening. I walked outside and saw the size of this dent on the side of my car and my heart absolutely sank. Now, I've wanted this car since March of 2016 when it was first unveiled. I didn't graduate PT school until 2022, so I had to wait until then, and I actually spent my first paycheck on this car. And I know you can judge me financially, whatever, but it was my dream car, it was my gift to myself, so I used my first paycheck to help pay for this brand new car that I've wanted for so long. But turns out I can't have nice things. So anyways, it's still drivable obviously, so I went to the police station to file a police report, and this is where things started to get interesting. I thought, okay, with the footage, the plate number, it should be very simple, file the report, go after them and whatever. But nope, since it was a gated community, it was considered private property and they couldn't do anything about it. It would have to go all through insurance. So whatever, fine. I still have the video, I have their plate. I submit through my insurance, file the claim. They process it pretty quickly, see that I wasn't even in the car, they hit me, so they give me their driver's insurance information because he didn't leave a note. And it was me going through that driver's insurance for the rest of this story, the rest of this claim. And his insurance was State Farm, and let me tell you, State Farm, they did not want to pay for this. I think they were hoping I would just forget about it or just not care about it and drop it because it took them weeks to finally accept fault and get the claim going. So I was calling State Farm several times. I'd call them for an update and they said they'd get back to me in a day or two, and then 4 or 5 days would go by, so I would call them back and they would say, oh yeah, we heard this, but they would never call me and tell me that. Luckily, after a few weeks of back and forth, I finally got in touch with a sensible employee at State Farm who accepted fault and got the repair process going. She also gave me a summary of why it took so long, and she was reading aloud some phone transcripts between them and their customer who hit me, and this is where it really gets interesting. Now, the following is all true. It's all what she said what happened, and State Farm had to investigate after every excuse, so that's why it took so long, I guess, but here's what the guy said. So first, of course, he denied ever hitting me. Obviously, he doesn't know that Sentry mode exists because I have the footage and his plate there. Then he said the car wasn't his. Now, obviously, Sentry mode had the plate, the car was registered under his name, but he said it wasn't his. And then he said his car was stolen. So State Farm, rightfully asked for a police report that he filed that his car was stolen when it was stolen. And then obviously, he couldn't find it. He lost a police report. He didn't file one. He was going back and forth making excuses. And then finally, he got pretty verbally aggressive with State Farm, and he was threatening them for them to never contact him again and saying this and that and some very inappropriate things. But obviously, in the end, it wasn't my fault, and they accepted fault, and the repair process got started. I look back sometimes and think maybe I could have or should have filed legal action. I wasn't really given the option to. If I could have, I don't know. Anyway, this happened in August when he hit me, and they didn't accept fault until October. Then I finally got the car fixed in November. It ended up costing about $2,300. The only thing I had to pay for was some Ubers to and from the car dealership for the rental car I was given. So I really got to enjoy my car for one night. And after that, I was driving around this brand new Model 3 with this big freaking dent in the side of the driver's door. And I tried my best, really, to not let it take away too much of the excitement of getting this brand new car, right? But when you buy something brand new like this, your first thing to do is really, take pictures of it and enjoy it that way. I couldn't really do that for half the side of the car. But it's fine, you know, after 1 year, 30,000 miles, a handful of road trips, obviously I do not regret this decision of buying this car. The only thing I do regret is not having my girlfriend's mother move her car out of the garage so I could have parked there that night. But anyways, let me know what you think of the story, because I was told by a few people that I could have or should have done things differently. I was told that the insurance dropped the ball pretty bad and it should have taken a day or two to really accept fault, but it took 5 or 6 weeks. This is my first time dealing with any insurance accident claim ever, so I was new to the whole process. I didn't know what to expect, but this dragged out for much longer than I thought it would. But if you want to see some more positive things like road trips and fun adventures that you have with this car, and JoJo's future Tesla, wink wink, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.